Okay, cool. We're alive. I was out this morning and I'm riding my bike, and I just kept thinking about like purpose, right? Kept thinking about purpose. Kept thinking about the times and the moments in my life where I felt like I didn't have any purpose at all. And I know there's some of you out there that feels like, damn man, like this has been a rough year. This has been a rough couple years. This has been a rough life, but I'm at that point, and you're probably thinking I'm at that point to where I need to figure out my purpose, and I know how that can feel. I know how that can feel. I want to encourage you that it's never too late to figure out your purpose. I want to encourage you that you don't have to make that moment be so stressful. Your purpose is waiting around the corner from you. Your purpose is already here. It's instilled in you, but you just have to start walking towards it. You have to embrace your purpose in order to live and walk in your purpose. You have to first embrace that purpose. So there's a couple different situations, a couple different scenarios that I want to reach out to, or people in these scenarios, to let you know that it's coming. There's people, they're trying to figure out, they're at the early stages of their life. I talk to them quite a bit. They're at the early stages of their life, and they're feeling, oh man, my parents want me to do this, but I'm not really feeling it. I always tell them, going towards your purpose, it needs to be about you. So you got those people, you got the people that have been in corporate America or corporate wherever you're watching from, right? And it looks like I got some people from other countries in here, but still corporate wherever you're at, right? Corporate wherever you're at in the world. Um, so you're trying to figure that out, right? Then you got the people that just, you feel like you never freaking launch, and you're just like, damn, I've been supporting my husband, I've been supporting my wife, I've been doing all of this, but what do I have? What do I have? So these are the people that I'm talking to, and just your general person that's just like, fuck, fuck. What am I supposed to do? I remember I was going through a period like that. I was growing up, I was living in my hometown. I was a young man. I was a very impressionable young man. So I was doing some things that I wouldn't necessarily be proud of. If my son was doing the things that I was doing, my son, my daughter, I would just be like, man, like we're on the way for um, we're on our way to a freaking hell of a ride, right? Because that's what I was taking my mom on, a hell of a ride, and something clicked in me. Something clicked in me, and it was just like, hey, you're being that exact same person that you loathe, that exact same person that you don't want to be like. And I made a decision. I made a decision to change my life. I had a baby on the way, and it was by chance, right? It was by chance that my purpose actually freaking called me, right? Or I'm gonna say I called my purpose. The television was on. I walk in the house. I'm hanging out with some friends, and I stop and I start looking at the TV, and I'm looking at this guy. He's fighting a battle of his life, and you could just tell like this battle that he's going through. Like it's like kicking his fucking ass. But he had a demon in front, a dragon. Excuse my language. He had a dragon in front of him. The dragon was on the side of him. The dragon was all over the place. He just kept fighting, right? He just kept fighting this dragon, kept fighting this demon. In my mind, in my head, I'm thinking that he is fighting a demon. And I'm like, damn, I'm fighting a demon too. I got a monster on my back that I just cannot get rid of. What's my purpose? What am I put on this earth to do? Who am I put on this earth to be? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? I have a child on the way. What am I going to do? Hmm. Watching this commercial, the guy is fighting with everything he got. He never gave up. And then finally, this dragon, this dragon that he's fighting, this dragon that reminds me of my demons, man, he kills it. Boom. the dragon falls down. He defeated the dragon. He defeated the dragon. He freaking killed it. His uniform instantly changed. His whole outlook on life totally changed. His mindset changed. You could just tell. You could see it on him. That probably was the special effects, cleaning them up to make them just look different. You know how they have the weight loss commercials? You see somebody and they're just like this. And then you see them after the picture, after you see them and they're standing up and they're just as handsome or as cute as ever. That's kind of how this moment was. But I had started that process of walking towards my purpose. So I knew what this was about. I knew that this commercial was going to be the thing that was going to save my life, and it did. The guy in the commercial, he turned into a United States Marine, and I said, damn, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a United States Marine. I went and I told some of my friends what I was doing, what I was planning on doing. I even told a couple family members, and they're just like, hey, man, you're first thing I remember hearing was like, man, you're black. You're black. Because I had talked to some of the older brothers. They're like, you're black, man. You don't have no place. You don't have no place in the military. That was what I was told. And I can see why they said that. I can definitely see why they said it after I joined. I got it. But it was just that never quit attitude. But then, you know, I had other people that were telling me, man, you're too fat. You're too fat to join to join the military, and you want to join the hardest branch, right? I said the hardest branch. All my military brothers, they're gonna come for me right now, but you want to join the hardest branch. And I said, you know what? Absolutely, I do. I met one of my best friends, still to this day. I met one of my best friends, and he took me, and we ran around the track. We ran around this golf course, man. So many different days, so many different people was telling me, man, you need to give this up because I see you still pudgy. How the hell are you gonna make it and be in the United States Marine Corps? We're running, man. This dude put me on diets. I mean, we were running every day. It was crazy. There was some people that thought I was getting ready, that I was training for like the Olympics or something. That's how rough this training was that we went through. So he ran me around this golf course, man. It just totally changed my mindset. And not only did I go back to school because I was a dropout, I didn't even realize that I was a freaking dropout, right? I went back to school, and they basically told me, we don't know who the hell you are. You've been gone for so long. Some of your records ain't here. Some of them are there. But I was just like, man, I felt so defeated. And then what happened was, this same recruiter, which is one of my best friends, he put me on game, and he was just like, hey, we can go and we can get your diploma from this one school. You do it. It's like homeschool. It's basically like homeschool for like what homeschool is right now, but just without the computers. I would have to mail in all the books. So I did that. Man, I did everything that I was told to do. I just changed my mindset. I changed my mindset. I knew I had a purpose. I knew for me that this was plan A and there was no fucking plan B, right? I knew that was my purpose. That was my purpose. I knew that was my purpose. That's what I was going to do, and I was going to make it work no matter what. So I made a plan B. I mean a plan A, and only a plan A without a plan B. And I made it happen. I joined, and it changed my life. And I owe so much to that experience. I owe so much to the amazing people that was around me, because my mother, man, I'll never forget. There was other mothers that was telling my mom, how in the hell are you going to let your son join the United States Marine Corps and leave? You and your son, you guys are so close. Like, how are you going to let that happen? And believe it or not, we're still really close. We talk almost every day, right? It doesn't matter how far you are away from a person, right? It's what matters, like as far as like in distance, what matters is how close you are in heart. So yeah, so just all of these people, they were just basically, I think they were trying to talk us out of it, or just kind of make us seem like we're crazy for going on that journey. But man, I joined and it changed my life. And that's happened several times over again, where I had to make different calibrations in my life, and being in a point or a state of mind to where you're just, man, I gotta make some changes. I gotta make some changes. And there's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people right now that um, that are trying to make some changes because they realize over the past, 14, 15 months, they realize that life is so precious, and they don't want to miss certain things, or they want certain things in life. And that's cool. That's cool. But the part is, what are you going to do to make it happen? What are you willing to go through to make sure that your dreams become a reality? So, from my experience, you focus on that dream. You focus and you make it your reality. If something that you're going to do, let me think of some of the things that we struggle with the most as adults, as kids, or whatever, right? So if it's losing weight, right? If that thing is losing weight, and you want to lose weight, you want to figure out a way to lose weight, man, you make a plan and stay with it. Almost get obsessed with it. This me saying obsession sometimes like tick people off, but almost obsessed with it. Fall in love with whatever it is that you need to do. Fall in love with that, and make it happen. There's no plan B. There's no plan B. Somebody asked me when I had decided that I was going to leave my job and I was going to start being a motivational speaker. And I just wanted to inspire the world, right? Somebody told me, "Do you have a plan B, son? Do you have a plan B, young man?" And I'm just like, no, there is no plan B. So you got to be obsessed. You can't be obsessed with multiple things. I'm sure there's people out there that can do it, but I cannot be obsessed with multiple things. And I'm not saying, your family needs to suffer behind the things that you're trying to do. There's a way to be obsessed with you and your goal, and making it happen without sacrificing the things that matter. I don't know, man. I just think about some of the people that I talk to on a daily basis. It's like in my inbox, they're texting me, they're calling me, and we're just kind of working through certain things, and they think that I have it all figured out. And I always tell them, man, like, hey, look, let me give you a glimpse of my life right now. And they're like, what? They're like, what? I can't believe that. And I'm like, yeah, man, exactly. Exactly. You will never know it, but you're not supposed to know it. You're not supposed to know it. And that's mindset. That's mindset. Do I fall? Yes, I fall often. Make sure you got people around you that's going to lift you up in those moments where you fall. I'll never forget. Um, I'll never forget. So this is just an example of encouraging. Like, you don't want people around you that's not going to encourage you. I remember telling my mother, "Oh God, I can't believe that I'm going through this. I can't believe that I got to struggle through this thing that I'm going through. Like, I can't believe the things that they're saying about me, and this and that. And should I just stop being a speaker?" And my mother's like, "No, you're going through this stuff that you're going through for a reason." And it's going to last for a season. You are going through this for a reason, young man. If you think that the moment that you made a decision to do what you're doing full time, if you thought that it was going to be easy, then it's not going to work. You're growing through what you're going through. It's not going to come to you easy. Look at some of the people out here that have been granted millions of dollars, granted meaning given by their parents, given by whoever, like they lose it just like that. The people that didn't work for it, it's a difference. It's a difference. A lot of millionaires would tell you that their first million, well, yeah, it was hard, but keeping it was even harder. And you had to make more. Like, it's never going to be easy. And that's one thing that I messed up. I would say earlier on in life was when something wasn't easy, I would just go and start doing other things and just like leaving just a sloppy ass trail all over my life. I'm doing this one thing. I'm going to school to be a personal trainer. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start skydiving. It's just all over the place. But the reason why I was doing that, the reason why I was switching, right? The reason why I was switching so much because I was going and coming to certain roadblocks in my life. And instead of going over those roadblocks, instead of going around those roadblocks, instead of going under those roadblocks, I turned around and I started looking for another street to walk down. And that's what we do. That's what we do as adults. That's what we do as kids. We take the path of least resistance, but you have so many goals. You have so many dreams. You have so many aspirations, right? So many goals, dreams, and aspirations, the things that you want to do in your life, the things that you know that's going to make your life better. It's worth going over it, under it, around it. It doesn't matter if you're crawling to get to it. It doesn't matter. That's what's going to make it so much sweet, because it's just knocked your ass down so much and so hard that you have no choice but to make it happen. You have no choice but to make it happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of these comments real quick. You can go ahead. Don't mind me. I just set up like a makeshift studio out here. I won't show you, I promise. You have a good day. It's amazing. It's amazing some of the, like, when you wake up early and you're like working out, or not even just working out, but just walking around. Like, you see some of the same people that you see like every day, and they have this habit. They have this amazing routine, but you see them and you start like developing these cool ass relationships with them, because they're the ones that are like getting after it. But you see them every day in the same spot, in the same location. So it's like success leaves clues. And that's something else that I was thinking about when you're on this journey. When you're on this journey, you're on this path that you're on. You're going to start looking at social media, and the people that are doing the same things that you're doing. You're going to have some envy in them. It happens, right? Maybe you won't, but a lot of people, that's just human nature sometimes, to have envy, right? To have envy. It goes all the way back to the caveman days. If you go to somebody else's cave, you're starving in your cave, no meat, no sustenance, and you need to take care of your family. But you see your neighbors, right? Your neighbors in their cave, and they have like this huge surplus of goods, right? This huge surplus is good. They have all these coats and all of this like amazing stuff inside their cave, and you're just like, damn, man, they must be doing something right. Their life must be perfect. Their life must be this. But that's not the case. There, a lot of times people will only show you the good shit that's inside of their cave. They're not going to show you the holes that they have, the chinks that they have in their armor. They're not going to necessarily show you that all the time. So and we have a habit of that. Am I going to put a picture of every time I fall? Am I going to put a picture of the ground? Am I going to put a picture of the ground every time I fall in life and put that on Instagram? Probably not. I probably will. I probably will, because I think there's a reason for everything, and I think that we need to learn from each other. But yeah, let me go to these comments. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me this morning. I really, really appreciate it. I love checking in with everybody. My purpose is to glorify Jesus. I pray that I do. If you're living and walking in it, hey, you know that you're doing it. Amazing, brother. I appreciate you, Nathan. I definitely believe in demons. Yeah, I slipped up and I was talking about dragons, and I don't know why I said demons. I don't know why I said demons. Talking about the story when I was in the Marine Corps, and I saw that commercial that changed my life. So I know if there's some Marines watching this and it looked like it is, man, I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear how you got on the journey that you got on, not just in the Marine Corps, but just um, in the military, whatever you do outside of the military. If you're a civilian, yeah, how did you get to a point to where you were able to find your purpose? I would love to know. Beautiful words. I appreciate that. Loss in life is always the next step to finding the next steps in your personal and professional life path. Life life derives from the ability to overcome challenges and connect with your true inner self. I love that. I had to look up there because there's a lot of words. I'm looking at a screen, and I got the sun in my eyes. Y'all probably like, man, what's up with this dude in his reading? But yeah, I agree with that. Your inner self, your inner self. I tend to make a point to challenge myself a lot, right? Challenge myself a lot in different ways that I know that I could do better. I could do better at different ways that maybe, I'm not really living. I'm not really living the way that I'm supposed to be, right? And one thing that I've been battling with lately is being able to say that I'm doing enough. Being able to say that I'm doing enough, and I know that a lot of entrepreneurs out there, they probably went through the same thing, and just humans in general, where we're growing through what we're going through, right? I got to put those two together always. We don't necessarily see the growth. We don't necessarily see the growth. There's plenty of people in my family that are like 7 feet tall, right? Believe it or not, in my family we got some giants, some of them. But you'll see them. I remember growing up as a kid. You'll see one of your family members. One year they were 5'6", and the next year they're like 6'6", and you're like, "Damn, man, you grew. Oh my God, I can't believe how tall you are." And they're like, "What are you talking about? I haven't grown that much. I just grew whatever." And you're just like, "No, it's just different. It's just different." So sometimes we have to like really look at our accomplishments. And that's not us, being vain or showing vanity, but that's us looking at our accomplishment, because that's what helps increase the self-efficacy, right? The fact that maybe self-efficacy is you're going through something, or you're getting ready to take on a task. Maybe you're not equipped for the task, but there's something, that inner ear, right? The inner ear that's telling you, okay, maybe you never done this before, but you can do it if you have the right amount of tools. That's just self-efficacy, believing in yourself when, maybe you don't have any reasons to believe in yourself, but you give yourself reasons. But if you keep telling yourself and keep uplifting yourself, that self-efficacy is going to increase. Respectfully, I say security comes from Jesus. Yes, Tony, leveraging others' words and questions and who we are, or where we want to go the best way for us to identify the capability of obtaining guidance from others is key. Thank you for sharing your truth and how you made it to the place that you are today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Harmony. My brother Steve, amazing stuff, my man. Been there, done that, and I'm still here. I keep pushing and pushing. You are definitely inspiration, my man. Keep it up. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Let me tell you tell you guys about Stephen Bell. This is something else that I really I believe in. I believe in taking like constructive criticism. I believe in taking constructive criticism. As long as, for me, taking criticism from people that haven't been to where you're at and they're not like living it, that's something differently. That's something different, right? I'm not saying you take everybody's advice, because sometimes advice can be the worst advice. We always seeking advice from people that we should be seeking advice from. But uh, Steve Bell, I had an interesting conversation with him probably about a year and a half ago, and he said, "Hey, with your videos, I like your videos. I like your speeches. I like your method, right?" And this is kind of, I was going through that phase where I just wanted to give it to you. I wanted to tell you everything that was going wrong, and I would just tell you. You don't. You got to make sure that you believe in yourself. You got to make sure that you fight against this and that for yourself, for work, because that's kind of my bag. But what he did was he said, "Hey, you're not giving us any tools. You're not giving us any principles. So give people action plans so that they can actually make a difference. That's how you do it." So that's what I got from Steve Bell, and that was our first conversation. He told me to give action items, and I'm just like, man, he's right. He's right. So there's a lesson in that. Key takeaway: growing through what you're going through. Yup. How do you stay focused when life pulls a 180 in the middle of your track? Sharon and Charlotte. All right, that's good. That's good. How do you um think about think about. I hate to go to COVID, but Sharon, think about just COVID, right? And the businesses. We all went through. We all went through, and we saw the process as far as certain businesses, as far as certain people, right? Things will happen and then they'll break. Things will happen and then they'll break. I don't know, Sharon. Sharon, actually, we worked together, and Sharon, I don't know if you remember, but when COVID first hit, you and I were at lunch. You and I were at lunch, and you had just came to the company, and I remember just welcoming you and just being excited about you being at the company. And you had first started seeing kind of the ebbs and flows as far as like the office politics and this and that. And we were just talking about giving some tips on how I'm able to kind of manage it, and how we stay focused. I remember us talking about that, but there was something that struck out to me during our time together that day. And what struck out to me was we went to it was a restaurant downtown, and the owner of the restaurant, they sat us down. They were so polite to us. They basically was like very, 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 very grateful that we were there. That we were there, and they were saying that they had just started losing a bunch of business, right? A bunch of business because of what was going on with the pandemic. And it was oh man, I remember that moment. So think about that moment and think about today. Think about all the companies. Think about all the companies that were invented during this time. Think about all the companies that stayed the course, that doubled down, that changed, right? That changed because we have to change. There's a bunch of companies out here. Um, we got a brewery out here in Washington that they were making beer. I think they were making beer. They were making whiskey. But then when the pandemic hit, they started making hand sanitizer. And guess what? I go in my house right now. I see the hand sanitizer with their logo on it. Where am I gonna go drink beer right now? I'm probably gonna go there. But they made a difference. They started making a difference in other people's lives, and they started serving because they knew that we needed hand sanitizer, so they made that possible. So I would just think, Sharon, I would just think that life is pulling you in that 180, and it's taking you off your track. The track that you think that you're supposed to be on is taking you off that track, and it's putting you on the track that maybe you belong on. That's that's just my 2 cents. Your inspiration is contagious. I appreciate it. Thanks. Awesome. So I am going to, I guess, finish my bike ride. I started early, but I took a couple breaks. This was one of them. And sometimes, man, you just gotta reflect. Sometimes you gotta reflect, and that's one thing that I've been doing is I've been reflecting a lot. I've been falling in love with the purpose and just kind of taking it all in. We could think about all the different ebbs and flows in life. We can think about um, you, the things that we're going through that we feel like that's beating us down. But there's a beautiful world out there that's looking right back at us. And here's an example. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. This is right down the street from my house. There's probably about 100 different kinds of species of trees, and I'm sitting right here, man. I'm sitting like at the edge, like on a cliff. But I could be in the house, right? And I'm sitting on this rock, right? I call it my little rock of Gibraltar. I could be I could be in the house. I could be sad about some things that are going on in my life. Uh, I could be upset about certain business deals. I could be just, oh man, I could be upset about school. Right? I'm in school. I got a grade. I got a grade from my teacher. She marked me down this morning, and I'm just like, man, that's kind of petty. But marked me down for one thing. But I think I made an indentation in my MLA structure, right? I wasn't supposed to hit tab or something like that. So she marked me down some points for that. So I could be in the house just mad and just steaming up because of, because I felt like I was wrong. Like you could do that, man. You could do that. But I pray, I pray that you don't do that so much that you get used to it. I pray that you give yourself enough space to breathe in life, not just the bad stuff, but the good stuff, because there's a lot of good in this life that we should be breathing in. And that's all I got, man. I don't know. I just felt really inspired this morning. I felt uh, this presence in me this morning. I feel like that there's a lot of people going through some fucking crazy shit right now. I can feel it, man. There's a lot of people that are hurting. Um, that the direction, right? The direction is lost. We all feel like, we just been dealt this crazy, crazy hand. I just want y'all to know that the hand that you've been dealt, man, you keep playing. Keep playing them, because that's not the only game. That's not the only lesson. There's a bunch of lessons in life that we're gonna have to go through. And some of us, you might feel like, hey, you're you're done with your career, but then all of a sudden, life just changed. You're retired, but then you got to go back to work. I've heard from quite a few people that have to go back to work right now. You might feel, you just might just be feeling like, man, this just sucks. Why me? This just sucks. You might be feeling that, but I want to let you know that life is too beautiful. Life is too precious to focus on the bad things that are happening to you. It's, oh my God, it's way too precious. I know I said I was gonna go. I'm like that friend. Or you remember when you're growing up and you go to somebody's house, you get ready to leave, and next thing you know, they pull you back in. Let me tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. They pull you back in. Do you want some food? I'm gonna go and order some food. They pull you back in, and you look up, and you just spent the night over there almost. I'm like that person. But a story of that I just thought about. you're you're feeling like how many times can I say like but you feel like the world is caving in on you, right? You feel like the world is caving in on you. I think about my mother in those circumstances. My mom is probably one of the strongest people that I know. The strongest people that I know. My mom's went through so much. Um, Man, my stepfather passed away a couple years ago, and my biological father passed away a couple years ago, and my father, who he was my stepfather, but he was like my father, he passed away, over a couple decades now ago, and my mom's like worked with or had to thrive through those different scenarios as far as taking care of people. We took care of my grandfather. He passed away. So just all of these different things that my mom has went through. But anybody could just say, "Oh man, woe is her," and she'll tell you, "Nah, like I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. There's no time. There's no time to be defeated. I have to keep going. I have to keep going because that's purpose. That's purpose. Your purpose, whatever you pick, whatever you're in, it should drive you. It should wake you up every morning. If you woke up this morning and you're just like, damn, it's hump day, or I don't feel like doing this, I don't want to do this, maybe it's not for you. Or maybe you need to double down and reevaluate the things that you want to do, reevaluate your goals. So I just, yeah, I mean, I pray for you. I might not even know you, but I'm praying for you. I hope that whatever you're going through, I know that you're growing through it, but I hope that you see it. I hope that you understand. I hope that you have the understanding that you're beautifully made. There could have been so many different possibilities, right? But you're here. You fought to be here. I think it's like over 7 million other possibilities. It could be more, right? But you came here. You're a lottery pick. That's how special you are. Take advantage of your blessings. Be patient with yourself. Understand that yes, life is going to put you off track, but you're only going to go where you're meant to be. He wouldn't put you to it if he didn't think that you could get through it. That's what somebody told me the other day. I thought that that was beautiful. Think about it. He would not have put you to it if he didn't think that you could get through it. So you got this. You got this. Keep going and don't give up. Until tomorrow, I hope everyone is blessed. I hope that you're living. I hope that you're learning. Never stop learning. Never stop giving.